Okay, hello, I'm back again, and I am reading to you from, oh, there it is, the wee blue book, The Facts the Papers Leave Out. And you've already seen the introduction. I'm about to go on to chapter, or part 1, Principles and Politics, and basically why am I doing this? Got handed it in town, and I thought I would read it to you all, and hopefully it can help maybe just one of us, maybe all of us, gain some new information about the Scottish referendum and help us make a more informed decision when it comes to voting. We have already established that this is from the yes side or left-wing politics. If anyone out there is watching this and they know what the right-hand side, right wing as it were, no side of the campaign and version of this is, if they would like to tell me what it is, send me it, get it to me. I will also love to read that out and see how it compares to what we see in here, okay? Just so I can get both sides of the story. So, Principles and Politics. Oh, and just before I go into chapter 1, I just want to read a note it says here about the sources, okay? So notes on sources, where they're getting their information from is a source, okay? Most of our links go directly to the original source. However, on some occasions, this would be a document hundreds of pages in size, in which the information would be difficult to locate quickly. In such instances, we may go to a page on Wings. In such instances, we may link to a page on Wings Over Scotland, where the information is extracted and highlighted. However, that page will always then link to the original source for verification. So, in that case, if you do, like me, want to follow up anything that's in here, and it is a small chunk of material from a big source, go and check the original as well, is my advice. Go check the original as well, make sure it's the same, and also read around it. So read what comes before it and read what comes after it, so it gives you context to make sure that this booklet here has not taken it out of context and used it for a different purpose than its original purpose. Because you could do that with words. You can shift them around and they mean different things. Right, okay, so Principles and Politics. Let's get on with this. So, Scotland has voted Tory, it says, for 6 out of 68 years. Scotland has had Tory governments for 38 out of 68 years. Look, and there's a lovely little graphy thing there. Shows you. You probably can't even see that clearly, but basically, Reds, Labour, Blues, Tories. Above is how we voted, below is the governments we've got, and you've got years there as well on a timeline, scaly sort of thing, okay? So, this is perhaps the simplest aspect of the debate to deal with. Scotland rarely, less than half the time, in fact, gets the government it votes for. Scots have voted for Labour at every Westminster election since 1955, but by the time of the 2015 election will have had Conservative governments they didn't want for 38 of the last 68 years. Whether you support Labour, the Conservatives, the SNP, the Liberal Democrats, or anyone else, Green Party, that's not democracy. With all due respect to Wales and Northern Ireland, 85% of the population of the UK lives in England. It does. So, that means, and that means that in practice, England always decides what government everyone else gets. Now, okay, let's see, that's maybe a bit misleading, I think, in a minute, because they're only talking about figures and proportions of the proportions of the population. Now, when you vote in general elections, you vote for members of Parliament based upon their constituency, and it's based upon seats. It's not about the amount of people that vote. It's the amount of people that vote in one area for any given MP. So, just for example, I know I'm going off track here, but it's important this. I don't know the exact figure, but let's say that this is correct, and because I've had this passed around a lot. So let's assume for a second that this is correct, and that England decides that England's vote counts for more, and Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland's votes don't count for anything. In retrospect, if England in the majority votes one way, like whatever, Conservative, UKIP, okay? Say for instance it's broken up into England, there's 100 seats. England has 60, just for instance. Scotland has, what, 25? No, let's say 30. Then Wales has 5 and Northern Ireland has 5, something like that. So you've got 30 Scotland, 60 in England, 5 and 5, right? That makes up the 100. Now, if England, say, even with 55 of that, or 60% of that, all votes the one way, then the rest of the votes from Northern Ireland, Wales and Scotland don't mean anything, okay? Essentially, that's what they're trying to say, but okay, they may even come to that, but let's see. I mean, I think that figure about percentage is a bit misleading, so we'll see what comes, we'll see what else comes. So, blah, 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 yeah, and they don't get what, right, okay, so most of the time, roughly 6 years in every 10, for the entire modern political era dating back to World War II, that's been a government Scotland has rejected. Okay, we believe Scotland is a country and therefore should get the government it votes for every time, not just when it happens to coincide with a much larger neighbouring country's wants. Okay, that doesn't mean it should be ruled by the SNP. Okay, good. If you don't like the SNP or Alex Salmond, you don't have to vote for them in an independent Scotland. Labour and the Lib Dems were in charge for the first 8 years of the Scottish Parliament and could be again. But so could brand new parties that don't even exist yet. Well, they do exist, but vote green. It's only a few years since nobody thought that the SNP would ever win an election. It's true. Things change. Things change is what they're saying. New things can happen, okay? Dreams do come true! Independence isn't about policies or parties. Those are questions which will be decided at elections, not referendums. All you have to decide, I'll just repeat that, independence isn't about policies or parties, not just yet. Those are questions which will be decided in elections, not the referendum. There's a difference between elections when you vote for a certain party to come to power and when you vote in a referendum. A referendum is whether you want Scotland to be independent and the power of Scotland to be in the hands of people that live and work in Scotland. So all you have to decide on the 18th of September is who should choose the future governments of Scotland. It says here the people of Scotland or the people of England. Now, there's a questions part on this, okay? The question says, or quote, but won't we be abandoning the people, but won't we be abandoning the people of the rest of the UK to permanent Conservative rule? So, but no, I'm only kidding. No, Scottish votes almost never make any difference to the outcome of UK elections. And when they do, it's a very small and short-lived one. Scottish independence will not condemn the rest of the UK to permanent Conservative governments. Almost every Labour government since World War II would still have had a comfortable majority without any Scottish votes. For example, in 1997, Labour would still have had a huge majority of 139 seats. Okay, so there's obviously more than 100 seats. You could bet, yeah, the other you get the point from before. Labour would have still had a huge majority of 139 seats if all Scottish votes had been removed. Even in 2005, it would have had a comfortable majority of 43 seats without Scottish votes, rather than the 66 seat majority it actually got. Okay. Okay. So next question. Okay. So take that in. Good. You're taking it in. That means you've taken it in. But lots of people... Alright, next question, and there's only two, and then we're done for this section. But lots of people didn't vote in the current government. But lots of people didn't vote for the current government. People in Liverpool or Manchester didn't vote for the Tories either, but they still got them as a government. Okay, right, so it's really breaking it down to basics here for people that don't understand how electing a government works. The unit of measurement for democracy and this is the answer, the unit of measurement for democracy in governmental elections is nations, not cities. No government ever gets 100% of the vote. And indeed, it's decades since any UK government even managed 50%. Okay, so it's okay. Some individuals or regions will always get a government they didn't vote for, but the referendum hinges on whether you think Scotland is a country or just a region of one. It can't be both. Okay, so it's not, to go back onto my further point, my point further on, earlier on where I was making an example of England having 60 seats, I guess it doesn't even work that way then. So what basically it means is I've heard a thing called first past the post system or a majority. So they'll have to reach, in a general election, say there are, I don't know, right, they'll have to reach a certain number of seats. It's like, when you get to a certain number of seats, you can then say that you've won a general election, and you can then form a government, okay? So, but that may not be a majority share of the seats. It may just be, because it's not a two-horse race, okay? So you could have... okay. Say there are 100 seats again, right? Let's do some simple maths, right? You could have 40, 40, which is less than half, which is less than 50%. 40 seats out of 100, and they could be Conservative, right? And then you could have 30 seats for Labour, which makes 70. Then you could have we've got another 10 for Lib Dems, 10 from the SNP, and 10 from the Green Party or something like that, okay? But the Tories still get in, I guess, according to this, because it's a majority or first past the post system sort of thing. Okay, so there we go. So we're informing, we're learning, we're trying to develop and evolve our understanding of how this works, okay? So that will be it for Section 1, Principles and Politics, and I would just like to note where these sources have come from, because we have these lovely graphs that I showed you, but the sources, okay, just so you know, the sources, because this is frowned upon in academic studies, okay, but the sources for the first graph are Wikipedia. Sources for the second graph are House of Commons Library, which is much better, but the sources for the third and fourth graphs are also Wikipedia. Okay, it's been fun. That's been chapter 1 of the Wee Blue Book. I shall see you next time for chapter 2.